Hi, parents. This video is to help with several things. It's helping you navigate Schoology better for your student so that you can be aware of what they have for STEAM Exploratory. Secondly, it's to show you how to use the grades feature in your student's Schoology account to better understand if they have any late work or any kind of attendance issues and things of that nature. So here we go. A disclaimer before we start. This is not a real student account. I have made this fake student account with my son's name. So I'm not showing any real grades or real information. Just a disclaimer. So what you see when your student logs into their Schoology account is they will see one of many colored tiles. So depending on your class, the student will see a different colored tile. I'm going to go ahead and click on this orange one, but your student will click on whatever color their class period is. That loads my home screen in Schoology. And so we talk about this every day. We also compare this to their Google Classroom material. So in Google Classroom, every week, they have an agenda that I've laid out for them, showing them what is due for those different days. They have also access to all my recorded lessons in their classwork tab of Google Classroom. So there are recorded lessons that I update daily. They also have access to my late work form so that if they do have to submit late work, they also need to complete this form so that I know they have submitted something. So the three major things in Google Classroom that are important are the agendas, the recorded lessons where they can rewatch what I did that day. And the recorded lessons are not Zooms, so they're much shorter. They're more like YouTube tutorials showing the student exactly what to click on that day and how we access the material. So I highly stress rewatching the lesson if your student is struggling or confused. And then late work, again, is the late work form if they are completing anything that they did not submit on the correct due date. One final thing that is in there is also the Zoom room link, so they always have access to where we meet daily. Okay. When they go to Schoology, they log in from the Shippensburg area school district website. So just taking you through that, students are pretty comfortable at this point logging in, but in case you have a student that has not connected with class yet, they go to the district site under Parents and Students, and they go to Schoology. Their login is the same that they log in with their Chromebook, their Google account. I highly suggest they bookmark Schoology to their bookmarks bar so it's always accessible, but they can always access it from the district site. So once they log in, here's the home screen. My folders are organized by the week and day of class. We have 25 classes. So there will be 5 weeks separated by folders and 25 actual individual days worth of assignments. Also, again, here is another set of recorded lessons so they can always access them. They don't have to look. They're always at their fingertips to rewatch. The first thing I'm going to navigate to, which I tell students to do every day, is their grades. So I go ahead and click on grades. And again, these are not real grades, so do not be alarmed. But in here, they are able to access everything we've done. They can see the due date of the item and they can see what they've scored. And Schoology is really kind because they put these icons next to the item saying if the student submitted something or didn't submit something. And then I am able to leave your student feedback to explain why they scored the way they did so that there should not be a disconnect for your student for why they made the score they did. So for instance, on this tech survey, students had a survey in Google Forms that they had to complete. And then they marked a box that said, yes, I submitted the form, or no, I didn't in Schoology. So this icon shows, yes, the child submitted something. However, when I went to check for their Google form, there was no form in my spreadsheet. So I gave the student a 0 because they never completed the form. They only completed the yes/no question. And then I wrote them a note that they did not do the quiz, but if you want access, or they did the quiz, they did not do the form. And if they want access to the link to the form, I've reposted it in Google Classroom for them to be able to submit. So if I scroll up to classwork, survey links, there's that text survey form. They would get to recomplete the form, and then they would fill in a late work form for that item. So anytime they submit something late for regrading, they also have to submit a late work form. Going back to the grade book, class participation. This is my item for the state. Every day they have to answer a question that I show them in the lesson. So for my attendance item, it is a play on the old school Where's Waldo. So every day, my little Where's Miss Watts, my little character, goes somewhere in Shippensburg. And what they type into that quiz is simply the answer from where I was that day. What I've explained to students, though, is the most important thing about this item is that they see that icon. This icon means that they submitted something and they're marked present. So even if they scored a 0 because maybe they typed it wrong or they clicked off of it and submitted it by accident, this icon means that I marked them in attendance. And while this 0 might alarm them, it is not to hurt their grade. So if you look down here, I also give them points for coming to the live Zoom meeting. So they get 2 points a day for the live Zoom meeting. So if they miss a point or two in the attendance check quiz, those points are regained twofold in the Zoom meeting points. So don't worry if they have a 0. The biggest concern is if they do not have that little icon beside the attendance day. Like this student, 1, 2, 3, 4 days did not do the attendance check on the correct day. So I would be marking in my attendance roster 4 absence days from class, and that goes to the guidance and attendance office. And then he was present for 2 days. So that's the concern when it comes to attendance is, did your student even submit something? Okay, so moving forward, I can close these as well, which is nice. So if you're like, I already looked at attendance, he's good, he has all his little puzzle pieces, I can close it out and I can move on to other things. I'm also going to close these Zoom meetings out because I know each week they're getting 2 points for attending. So now I'm looking at other assignments. I can see, for instance, here's an icon, meaning the student made a submission. They only earned 10 points. And I explained where the deductions were made. They lost 5 points according to the rubric for not using red, and they did not use size 8 font or size 8 lines. I can see there was never something submitted for this project because there is no icon, and so they scored a 0 out of 50. They did do this one, left a comment. There is an icon. They did not even submit something here. I did leave a comment at that point as well. Again, no icon means no submission. On this one right here, I'm going to give you an example of what they can do when they realize they have not submitted something. So I don't see the icon. I know it's missing. I want to be able to turn it in late. The great thing about Schoology is even if they don't remember when we did this, it reminds them of the date so they could go back and count what day of class that was. But if they click on this link in Schoology to the item, let me go back, I'm sorry. If they click on the link in Schoology, it will take them to the day that we did that item. So I'm going to click on, I think I'm going to click on a different one. I'm going to go ahead and click on this one right here. Okay. I know I need to do it. I have not submitted it. Okay. So I see that it occurred in the day 6 folder. So before I start a quiz that I know nothing about, I stress to students, there is no worse waste of time than doing makeup work and not knowing the instructions that went along with it. So when you click on the item that you're missing in Schoology, it takes you to the assignment and you can navigate to the day it occurred. So I see it occurred on day 6. I click on that link and I'm taken to the day 6 assignments. So I can see that on this day, I was to read instructions. I was supposed to read the assignment. I was supposed to take a quiz on the reading. And then there was one other assignment and attendance check in this folder. So before I take this Post-it note quiz that the grade book said I was missing, I probably want to go into the instructions. I probably want to watch the day 6 recording so I know what Ms. Watts talked about and showed that day. I want to read the article on Post-it notes and have that open so I can take the Post-it note quiz. So that is one fabulous feature about Schoology, is that everything is linked to where it occurred in class. So if I need to go back and access something, all I have to do is click on it. And I can see up here at the top that the keyboard shortcut quiz occurred on day 5 of class in the week 2 folder. And if I click on either of these, it will take me to that location. I can then read the instructions, watch the day 5 video, and access any material that was given that day for that quiz or that assignment. That is how you navigate your student's gradebook on Schoology. So super useful that your student is responsible by checking that daily, and that you can check it if you want to log in as them or with them to see how they are doing in class. All of these grades do upload to Skyward, so you can see them there as well. It's just you can see feedback and actual submissions when you view it in Schoology. So a lot more information for you as a parent. Okay, and then you can see their total grade at the bottom. And again, this is not a real student, so no worries. Okay, the next thing, we're going to just go back out to materials. So you're using all your different navigations. They can see on their calendar when things are due. So this is also a way to keep them organized and on track. They also have a calendar feature up here that when they click on that, they can see what was due and when. And again, everything in Schoology is a link. So if they're like, ooh, I didn't do the Post-its reading check that's due today, they can click on it, see when it's due, view the item to check if they did it, and then go to that folder if they need extra help. Okay, so that is pretty much a once over on Schoology, so that they can see what's going on and you understand it as well. One final thing is, if they do have any kinds of concerns, or you have any kinds of concerns about their gradebook items, please, when you email me, reference the actual name of the assignment. So if you simply email me and say, I'm not understanding why he has quiz grades of 0. It's much easier for me to understand what it is you're asking if you actually reference the name of these assignments. So the easiest way is in Schoology. You can copy from their gradebook, highlight it, and copy it, and paste the actual name of the assignment. Or even better, they know how to screenshot using their Chromebooks. So they can use the keyboard shortcut that they've learned in class from the keyboard shortcut lesson, and they can upload a screenshot of their actual gradebook to me and reference what assignment that they're concerned about or didn't understand. That's the best way when emailing about an actual grade, for me to understand what your student's struggling with, because then I know the name of the actual assignment and I can see what they're talking about. I do teach 200 students at a time across 3 grade levels. So referencing details is super important in this virtual world, and I would greatly appreciate all the details you can give so that I can help you and your student better. But I believe that is pretty much my overview for you. Every day pretty much looks the same in the folder. They go to the week we're on. They go to the day that we're on, tells them the lesson focus, and it puts in order the items that they are to do that day and how to access them. And there is always an instruction page that goes over exactly what's going on. And again, I can't stress how important those recorded lessons are. Thank you, and I hope this helps you navigate Schoology.